For centuries, the ninja clan hid from civilization as they silently honed their deadly skills. But now, an army of outsiders have attacked and dragged them from the shadows. This dishonor demands revenge. This task falls to the clan champion, the lone ninja marked with an ancient ritualistic tattoo and trained to be a ruthless killer. He will do whatever it takes to make sure the threat to his clan is destroyed. Mark of the Ninja is a bit of a weird one. It is a 2D action stealth platformer. And the reason why that's weird is that it's already hard enough to implement stealth gameplay in 2 dimensions without also having to add on running and jumping and climbing trees as well. And in a traditional side-scrolling game, enemies can look to the left and they can look to the right, and if you're in one of those 2 places, they are gonna spot you. So in order to actually implement 2D side-scrolling stealth mechanics, you have to do a bit of logistical maneuvering, and impressively enough, Mark of the Ninja actually manages to pull it off. At the start of each chapter, you'll be placed at the entrance to a sprawling 2D level, and given a simple objective such as escape without triggering any alarms, or find and eliminate an enemy target. As you make your way through the area, you'll have the option to either avoid or eliminate enemy soldiers. In addition, fully exploring the level will allow you to find secret treasures and bonus objectives that are worth extra points at the end. You might even find hidden challenge rooms that put your mastery of ninja skills to the test. Once you complete a chapter, you'll be rewarded with upgrade points that are based upon your performance, and you'll need these points to improve your abilities as each new chapter adds new enemies and new dangers. Now, the reason why this whole stealth platforming gameplay even works at all is because Mark of the Ninja does 2 things very well. First, it gives you a wide variety of ninja powers and abilities. The most obvious, of course, is your ability to stealth kill enemies if you get close to them without being spotted. But on top of that, you also have movement and traversal abilities as well. Your ninja can climb up walls and even ceilings with ease, and can use a grappling hook to reach distant platforms. There's also an arsenal of ninja tools available to you, everything from darts and daggers to smoke bombs, all the way down to the inconspicuous and ever-useful cardboard box. And using these items is incredibly simple. Every time you want to throw a dart or stun an enemy with a flashbang, the game will conveniently pause so that you can select your targets and perfectly implement your plan of attack. Now, the second and possibly more important thing that Mark of the Ninja does well is having consistent visual design. As I mentioned before, 2D stealth games are a bit tricky to implement. As I tried to explain before, breaking an enemy's line of sight on a 2-dimensional plane isn't exactly an easy thing to do. And the way Mark of the Ninja manages to overcome this is by coming up with a very clear set of rules for how stealth works, and then a very clear set of visual identifiers so you know how those rules are interacting with the environment. So, for instance, an enemy who is on the same level as you will be able to notice you from a distance, but only if you are standing under a light. Because if your character is in darkness, you won't be visible until the enemy is standing right next to you. and the game clearly communicates when your ninja is visible versus when they're hiding in shadows. But it's not just line of sight. Enemies can also detect you through the noise you make, whether that's because you're running too quickly through the level or because you failed to silently eliminate another guard. In each of these cases, the game again gives you a visual identifier that shows you exactly how much sound you're making and how far it is traveling, which allows you to precisely coordinate your actions for the situation. The game's level design even takes advantage of these elements. In brightly lit areas, you can often destroy the lights in order to create a pathway of darkness for your ninja. You can also use sound to distract or even confuse enemies, forcing them to move into areas where you have the advantage. And all of these elements combine together very well in order to deliver classic stealth gameplay in a two-dimensional environment. Now, unfortunately, Mark of the Ninja does have some minor downsides. For instance, the level design, while providing a variety of different locations and challenges, is still very linear. Unlike a lot of stealth games, there's not a lot of opportunity for picking and choosing how you will approach your target, and most areas only have one path to the exit. Also, some of your special ninja tricks, which in most other games might be considered necessary abilities, are here locked behind upgrades. You cannot, for instance, perform aerial or hanging assassinations until you have unlocked them. And it gives the game a kind of artificial difficulty curve, which means that you have to complete 2 or 3 missions to get the points you need in order to finally play with all of your ninja abilities. Still, I wouldn't let a few complaints tarnish my overall opinion. I would give Mark of the Ninja 4 out of 4 stars, and my recommendation. 2D side-scrolling stealth games are rare, but if you want to see how such a game could be done, and done well, then Mark of the Ninja is definitely one to check out. Alright, well, thanks for listening. I'm heading back to the shadows. Till next time.